Hey, how's it going? I'm Chris with PearsonCopy.com, and I'm here to help your brand make more sales with email. As a part of my 100 emails in a 100-day challenge, I am breaking down an email from a brand called Monos. I believe that's how you pronounce their name. If not, please correct me in the comments. This brand I think is a great brand. I've gotten a few emails from them, and this email I believe is a part of their welcome series. If not, it's a newsletter or campaign that they send out weekly. But since I'm so new to their list, I believe this is a part of their welcome flow or welcome series. And what caught my attention is the direct call out for their mission and just why they exist. So when I saw this in my inbox, sustainability, our commitment to the planet. So this caught my attention because it's very direct, it's very specific when it comes to what a brand is actually trying to do. I don't see a lot of brands at the time of this recording doing stuff like sustainability. It's very specific, right? Our commitment to the planet. So them calling out this specific thing and saying, "Hey, this is why we exist, and this is what we're about." They are drawing a line in the sand and saying that we're on this side, you're on that side. If you want to be a part of this, come over here with us. It's polarizing almost. And while this language may not feel polarizing in the typical sense, it definitely gets the person who reads the subject line to make a decision. Is sustainability important to you? Yes or no. If it is, you click in. If it's not, you scroll on past. I think that's a bold move for this brand, and that's one of the reasons why I clicked into this to just go through and break down their email and just what this email actually is about. That's the context for the email. And we just talked about the subject line, so we'll skip into the from name and from email. Like I've said before, pretty typical for brands just to have their brand name and then a hello at or support at or customer service at. I think Monos is doing great here because they're using a hello at email with their monos.com domain name. So it's very clean, very straightforward. It doesn't look like it's spam. It doesn't look like it's marketing. It looks like it's from the brand, and it looks like it could be from a real person, but it's at least not something that you should avoid. It's something you should click into. So I think they did a great job here. Otherwise, I think I'll mention later how this email could be a plain text email from the founder, and they could say Victor's name here, Victor at Monos, hello at monos.com, or Victor at monos.com. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's move down the email. Again, view in browser. If you're using graphics or design quite a bit with your emails, having a view in browser option at the top helps because you can open this in a tab in your browser and experience the full email. Some email providers block images or reduce graphics ability to appear. Layouts can get distorted, things like that inside of email inboxes or even on mobile. So having this to be able to open it in a browser tab helps a ton. So if you're using a lot of graphics and design, make sure to put this at the top of your emails. Again, I like Monos doing the simple brand logo here. A brand name, brand logo here at the top, really easy to consume, really simple to see, consume, and move past. I like simple up here. I don't like menus typically, and I think Monos does a great job here. The other thing I like about Monos, even though I prefer plain text, they do a great job with their aesthetic and their design. I really like how this feels. I think with the sustainability, our commitment to the planet theme and angle and concept, travel mindfully, tread lightly, it falls right into that theme, and it just keeps that message going. The tread lightly phrase here, it's repeated a few times throughout the email, which I will do my best to remember to mention. But I think this tread lightly thread here, is a powerful one. And I think there's more to this that they could have probably pulled out with it when it comes to the story. When we get to the founder's message at the bottom of this email that I said could probably start this email as a plain text. The idea of tread lightly is a idea or concept or theme that they string this whole email on. They hang this email on that idea. Even though it's about sustainability and our commitment to the planet, tread lightly is the actionable phrase or the actionable CTA that the customer takes and can take with these products or because of these products. Just an idea there. As we're scrolling down, there's really no CTA up here. It's just this image. This image is linked, so people could click it, but it's not calling to action. It's just a nice graphic at the top. Monos goes right into our commitment. So what's our commitment? What's our mission essentially? Over here on the right, I took some notes, but this paragraph does a great job at calling out their ideal customer. And they use phrases and terms like conscious travelers, force for good, nonprofit organizations, tread lightly. There's a tread lightly phrase, right? Positive impact on the world, responsibility to protect the place we call home. Now, these are all phrases and words that are inside this paragraph. Just looking at it, you may not see it because it's like, okay, that's just a stack of text. But as you read, these are the types of things that are popping out at me as I read this. And these are calling out to their ideal customer, people who care about sustainability and they want to tread lightly on the world so they can take care of the planet. This is calling out to those people. It's the language they probably use in conversation with friends. It's language that's probably popping into their head and things they're thinking about, which I think when it comes to Monos and mentioning their commitment and their mission, they're doing a great job here with this copy. The next section here, climate neutral certified. So this is a pretty big deal when it comes to sustainability. I think them calling this out and saying, "Hey, this is one of the ways that we are pushing and advocating for sustainability when it comes to brands and businesses." This is a signal to their ideal customer is if they care about the planet and sustainability, climate neutral certified will be a big deal to their ideal customer, and it will make it will pull them in, right? It'll pull them into the brand and give them a reason to buy because this is what Monos is all about. Um, Again, this is how the brand is treading lightly on the world and on the planet. So that theme of tread lightly is coming all the way through this email, right? And that's the note I put here is this climate neutral certified is Monos's brand's way of treading lightly as they operate as a business. And they explain measure, offset, and I believe that word is reduce. They explain the what do you want to call it? The framework of how they are climate neutral certified and how they're doing that with their brand. And this is their framework here. So not only are they showing what they're about, but they're also teaching people about things that they may not otherwise know about when it comes to business or climate neutral certification. So they link to a learn more. So this could be, this probably goes to Monos's commitment to the climate neutral certification and being certified. So you can go, the ideal customer can click through and learn about that and how that actually functions on a deeper level. Moving down the email, 1% for the planet. So this is another way the brand shares their commitment to sustainability and treading lightly. 1% is essentially, I believe they donate 1% of their revenue to verified nonprofit organizations. Now, something here that's interesting is verified nonprofit organizations. Nonprofits, when it comes to like the public domain, not in the sense of like access, but just in the idea of like the public zeitgeist of thought, is nonprofits have been getting hit around a little bit when it comes to like tax shelters and things like that. So when they're a verified nonprofit, that gives a little bit of qualification to the idea of a nonprofit. It's also something that eases an objection or a hurdle of like, okay, it's a nonprofit, you're just hiding money. It's like, no, we're not. We verify and we certify that these nonprofits are actually real and they're not like a tax haven. And the verification thing, I think that's what stuck out to me about this paragraph is one, they donate 1% of the revenue, which is great, and then they donate to verified nonprofit organizations. So this is something with other brands. If you can find ways to be more specific about your mission and how you go about achieving that mission with your brand, the more specific you can get, the better. If you say general or vague, people have a chance to just slip through and it doesn't really connect with them. There's no context. But if you make it specific, like verified nonprofit organizations, that's very specific as opposed to just nonprofit organizations. So one word can do a lot when it comes to the copy. Yep. And then they have the same thing here, learn more. So you can go and learn what that 1% for the planet actually means and how it functions and how the brand achieves their goal of sustainability through that. And then finally, my favorite part of this email, and I really do think that this right here, Victor Tam, the co-founder and CEO, I do believe this email could be a plain text email from Victor. And this is why this is his section. And this is a quote from him. And Victor could have potentially, as a brand, you could have sent this email from Victor, and then Victor@monos.com. And basically started the email with this is like, I believe the sustainability has been a North Star for us and it's guided our decisions as a business since day one, et cetera, et cetera. And this is why we are taking a part of these initiatives, and then in plain text, explain the initiatives and click and maybe add links to it, or just one button bomb saying, hey, if you want to learn more about any of this, click here and go to our About Mission page. Honestly, I think that would have made a more, or sorry, would make a deeper emotional connection instead of starting here. Because people who are used to seeing graphics in email, they'll scroll and say, okay, tread lightly, cool, or commitment. Okay, this is boring. There's nothing here about me, etc. And they're going to get to roughly somewhere in the middle of the email, and they're going to bounce and not really consume this, or even not even click into it. But with this story in here coming from Victor, they're going to at least read the story, which means there's a potential for an emotional connection. And then you have the opportunity to pull them through all of these reasons why your brand exists and connect even on a deeper level, because now they know what your brand's about and how you're going about doing it. So I think, again, this is something with sales letters that if you want to be to control, you go in and read the whole sales letter and you see if you can find where a new lead is buried. So the lead to sales letters when you're beating controls is buried inside the actual sales letter. So the lead that exists, the control that exists, if you're trying to beat that, you read the letter and find in the letter the next idea to try and beat that existing control. I think this email, this email probably works just fine, but to beat this when it comes to clicks through to the brand site or sales, this right here, I would lead with this story and this message from Victor and talk about the initiatives after they connect with Victor. So with that being said, just a few more pieces here for this email. Less but better. So again, the brand here is actually just using certain terms and terminology to connect with the ideal customer. The one thing about this section here, Monos goes about connecting good design to sustainability. So you can have both quality products as well as products that positively impact the world or the earth. So their quality is stand the test of time. That's a pretty common phrase, but it means a lot. There's a lot loaded in that phrase, and they're just connecting. We can make great products and also achieve sustainability when it comes to protecting the planet. And that's what this section is about. I think they do good with the copy here. And then finally, the last pieces. So we have the menu at the bottom. That's pretty standard. And then we have the shop all. So if none of those work and you want something else, you can shop all. You have the features again mentioned, essentially what this whole email is about. And then you have your socials, website, and standard foot information. So that being said, that's the breakdown for this email from Monos. The one big takeaway I would say from this is I would test this email going out, A/B test it, and start the B test with the phrase or the quote here, and potentially an entire email plain text coming from Victor specifically. You could potentially put this picture in with and say, hey, I'm Victor. This is me out in so-and-so forest or whatever doing a journal thing. I believe the sustainability. I wanted to email you today to let you know that I believe sustainability has been a North Star for us as a brand and as a team. And then go into this section here and just talk about it and have it come from Victor. I think that's a big takeaway from this email. They'd probably get one, more opens because it's from Victor, two, more clicks because it's from Victor's personal connection, right? And it's his story and his voice coming from the brand as opposed to brand sharing who he is. So it's a flip, right? And then finally, more sales would probably happen because now they believe that Victor's a part of their buying process. They feel like they're connected to a person as opposed to buying from an entity or a brand that's not personal. So with that being said, that's the breakdown for this. I hope that you've taken some insights away. You can take those back to your brand and make more sales with email. Go check out my other videos on YouTube where I do other email breakdowns. Like I said before at the beginning of this video, I'm doing 100 emails in 100 days as a breakdown challenge. In the meantime, please go watch my other videos and I'll talk to you later.